I've served all over the world, in Africa, the Middle East, and in South America. Those are the types of countries where they weaponize the judicial system against their political opponents. Maduro weaponized the judicial system in Venezuela against Guaido. Every prime minister of Pakistan knows if they lose to the other side, they're going to get put in jail. Is this what we want America to become? This is what we're becoming. This isn't justice. This is politics. It's political warfare, and we see it happening in third world countries all over the world. I never thought I'd see it happening in the United States of America.
Well, we are watching something in real time. Florida Congressman Michael Waltz there joining nearly a dozen House Republicans in front of the Manhattan criminal courthouse yesterday, supporting former President Trump during the so-called hush money trial. The trial expected to resume on Monday with Michael Cohen returning to the stand. Trump's lawyer grilling him this week about his history of lying under oath. Joining me now is the man himself, Florida Congressman Michael Waltz, a member of the House Oversight, Armed Services, and Foreign Affairs Committees. Congressman, thanks very much for being here this morning. I want to hear more about what you learned yesterday, because it feels like yesterday the testimony of Michael Cohen was something that sparked outrage everywhere. Even on liberal networks, they said that, you know, the case is over after that testimony. Walk us through what happened.
Yeah, Maria. Well, look, to be honest with you, it was probably a little bit boring in the morning. Todd Blanche is so methodical, but he methodically walked us all through. And I had forgotten, frankly, how many times Cohen has lied. Lied in front of the Intelligence Committee, lied in front of the Judiciary Committee, lied to his lawyer about lying, lied to the judge when he pled guilty about lying in those other circumstances. But he walked us all through that again, and then caught Cohen lying on a stand about testimony he had just given 2 days prior in this big culminating final phone call with Trump where Cohen claimed was where he closed the loop on the hush money payment. But I guess he had forgotten about texts he had sent before and after saying, no, the call was really about getting harassed, I guess, by some prankster. And where Todd really had the Perry Mason moment, Blanche had the Perry Mason moment, was he couldn't possibly have talked about all of those things he said he did, plus what he was texting about, in a 90-second phone call. There's just no way. And Cohen he just fell apart on the stand, and the jury was absolutely dialed in at that point.
Wow. And that's why the liberal media said, you know, I think it was Anderson Cooper on CNN who basically said, look, Michael Cohen was just cornered because he lied again. And so we'll see what happens on Monday. Your thoughts about this case? You think this is coming to a close soon?
Well, I'd like to see Costello, who was Cohen's lawyer, who testified yesterday about all the other lies directly related to this and how much money he hopes to gain. I hope to see him call as a defense witness. But beyond there, the case is just falling apart on its own. That said, Maria, until, you know, I mean, nobody could get in the minds of those jurors. Yeah. Several of them were very tuned in, taking notes. But until we're completely clear of this nonsense, but I just want to say what a dark moment this is in American history. I mean, we are going down the road of Pakistan, Venezuela, you name the country, where the opposite political party weaponizes like-minded judges. And just by contrast, in Florida, a judge won't even take a photo next to a politician because they're so careful not to be seen as partisan. And yet we have one in New York giving political contributions out. It's scary.
Do you think that the Supreme Court is taking all of this into account as it decides whether or not President Trump has presidential immunity? Because I wonder, if you're seeing this kind of a circus now, shouldn't the Supreme Court want to just shut that down to make sure people understand you can't just get into office and start prosecuting your political opponent? Maybe that's why presidents should have immunity. Do you think the Supreme Court is watching all of this and taking it in?
Yes and no, Maria. I mean, I certainly hope so when it comes to presidents. But what about members of Congress or senators or county commissioners? And if you start having these highly politicized DAs and judges, I mean, you issue a subpoena on someone and the media jumps all over it. That candidate's kind of dead in the water, right? Even if they beat it, the legal fees, the time, and so it's those down ballot issues that the Supreme Court case wouldn't necessarily cover. But the left has unleashed Pandora's box here that could destroy our democracy.
Well, speaking of subpoenas and retribution, I want to get your take on what James Comer's working on. The House Oversight Committee chairman joined me yesterday on this program, and he told me that he sent a subpoena to a major bank to get bank records in the Biden impeachment probe. He said that his committee has found new Biden family bank accounts, and they continue to underline what he has been saying. He said money laundering, bribery, influence peddling, all yesterday in my interview. Take a listen.
I issued a subpoena for targeted financial information from a certain financial institution related to Jim Biden, Sarah Biden, and Hunter Biden. This is a result of many of the documents that Devin Archer turned over. We believe we found new accounts, and remember, the number of bank accounts that we've discovered over the past year and a half since I've had subpoena power, since the Republicans flipped the House, is unbelievable. I mean, I don't think you would find very many people that have billion-dollar net worths that have as many different bank accounts as this Biden family had. Many of these were shell companies, as you and I have discussed, Maria, companies that sole purpose was to launder the money that the Bidens were receiving from China, from Romania, from Russia.
Congressman, obviously these are incredibly serious charges. We want to get to the bottom of it. Our viewers want answers. We've reached out to the White House for comment. We have not received a response. I believe at that time yesterday, James Comer said he, too, has not received a response from a very specific letter that the Oversight Committee sent to the White House, going through all of the countries where they identified money that was taken in by family members. Congressman, your thoughts?
Yeah, Maria, the Democrats keep saying, oh, this just keeps dragging on and on and on. But that's because we keep discovering more and more and more shell companies, bank accounts, credit cards, money being moved from here to there. And every time we get to the bottom of one shell company, we find 5 more. What government bureaucrat, what elected official needs dozens and dozens of shell companies registered in some cases in their grandkids' names that are shell gaming money all around from foreign entities? And by the way, you can't have millions of dollars coming into your kids and then pay your bills. That's just a workaround of all ethics and all campaign finance. They've laundered money. He commingled accounts. They changed policy as a result of this money coming in. This is the largest corruption scandal in American history. And we have a duty to keep pulling the thread on it and keep getting to the bottom of it, despite all of the obstruction from this administration. And when they finally won't give us what we want, then we're going to do what we did last night, which is hold them in contempt and refer them to a DOJ we know is probably not going to prosecute. But we have to keep investigating and exposing this to the American people.
Well, you just mentioned something in terms of policy, and that's what I want to get at, because this letter that I'm referring to goes through China, Ukraine, Russia, loans, all this money that the family has taken in, according to this letter in the Oversight Committee. That's what I want to know. Did we actually see policy changes as a result of that money, so that you could actually connect the dots and say, yeah, this was a quid pro quo? We changed policies. We canceled the China initiative because China paid the Biden family. Do you have evidence of that?
Well, we certainly do, of firing a prosecutor in Ukraine that was looking into the very company, Burisma, that Hunter Biden was sitting on. I mean, Look, that's enough in and of itself, in my view. Okay. But you're right. We're still fighting with the archives to get the emails out of the 4 dummy email accounts that Hunter Biden was sending around. Who needs that? I don't have dummy email accounts as a vice president, right? Where they canceled the China initiative, the Inflation Reduction Act, pouring billions into China, the passive approach to China, allowing them to fly spy balloons and take over the South China Sea. Those are the threads that we have to keep following, Maria, to get. You know, look, I think the American people see it for what it is in terms of the policy changes and the policy positions Biden has had for the millions and millions that are coming in.
Real quick before you go, I know that the House passed the Israel Act yesterday. Is there anything you want to say about the president holding back those weapons and where this goes now as Israel fights for its survival against Hamas terrorists?
Well, you had 185 Democrats sadly agree with Biden that you can tap the brakes on military aid in the middle of a war for its survival. With Hezbollah, with the Houthis, with Hamas still alive, and with Iran, who had just launched dozens and dozens of drones directly from its soil onto Israel. And this is all for purely political reasons. This is the progressive left that have taken over a political party and is now literally forcing Democrats to walk away from our greatest ally. It's another dark moment.
Congressman, it's good to talk with you. We'll be watching your work. Thanks very much for being here. Congressman Michael Waltz.